Jazz is at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second down, Hyde. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So following the run by Hyde, here's 1st and 10. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Trey Hendrickson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson, open man, the tight end fells. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Here we go, D. 41 Mike. 40 Alpha. Man, that's trash. That's trash. 41's coming. 41's a Mike. It's coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go. 5-9. Here we go. 41 Mike.
On 1st down, Breeze. His throw incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics. and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line. 11.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
41's the mic. Check 41. Here we go. Hey, alert 3. Check, crouch.
Breeze now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Give me some. Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. Now high. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
3 down. Be set. 19. Check. Watch 54. Switch. Hold the line. Hold. Right there. 54 miles.
From the 50, it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
It's a gain of 6.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
Watch the screen.
A first down carry here for Johnson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. From the gun on third, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 28. Watson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on fourth down here.
Let him know. Check nickel. Check the hot read. Let's go. Motion, I got one.
They run. It's Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
And the Texans first down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now it's Watson. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Let's go, D. Banjo.
From the gun, a give to Hyde. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
You draw corner. Check. Slam. Check. Hot route. Hot. Check 9.
Throwing now is Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 70 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Yes, Michael Thomas is a volume receiver, but he can also make some really big plays, especially with Drew Brees throwing the football.
I love the way you described it. Volume receiver who could also make big plays. In other words, if you underestimate him, he'll run past you or he'll just jump over the top of you and continue to make those big plays.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
First down, Texans.
Set. Check. Watch 54.
They run again with Hyde on first. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Being chased out left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Tighten up.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans push further out in front. And it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield.
And nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Angelo Blackson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Throwing again on second down. Watson. Look down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 50 yards. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a second down. To throw again on second down, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Now Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. So Breeze is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on fourth down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
Get ready, get ready.
Emoji happy tears, emoji happy tears, emoji happy tears, emoji
Faking
happy
again.
tears.
Now Watson on a heavy rush, and down he goes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
To throw is Watson. He finds his running back, Hyde. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Carlos Hyde, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. Here's Watson. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Murray. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
36.
So here we go on 4th down with Breeze. He's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start the drive with Hyde. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. A 10th carry for Hyde. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Emoji happy tears. Emoji happy tears. Emoji happy tears.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. On 1st down, it's Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
54's Mike.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's 59.
1st down, Houston.
55.
On 1st down, Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. To the air yet again. Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
We play to win.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for under pressure, and they got to him again. Angelo Blackson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Hey, Echo.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On third and long, it's Breeze. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And how about this? Fourth and long, and they're going to go for it. To throw is Breeze. And now here is another interception. Zach Cunningham with a pick. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. I'll be heading to the hotel. Charles, he's off to Bourbon Street.
No, I'm not.
Yes, we say so long from New Orleans.